Hey there guys, this is Tyler here, and welcome to part 2 of the 10,000 subscriber special. For this part, we're going to be doing two things. The first thing I'm going to be doing is finally showing off my FNaF merch collection, because I often get questions regarding what I have, and if I'm involved with the FNaF merch side of the community, and if so, how much? Well, spoiler alert, I do collect FNaF merch. I just don't tell people about it for some reason. For right now, I don't know what I'll do with my merch. Currently, they're only there for display, I guess, but I'll still show it off. And secondly, after the collection showcase, I'll be doing the massive Q&A. I asked you guys on the community tab, Twitter, and Instagram to send me questions, and you'll be giving your answers. So first, let's get straight into the FNaF merch collection. Again, apologies for my camera quality being kind of shit, but yep, here's me FNaF merch, everybody. Yep. So I guess I'll just start with the obvious stuff. I have every single book except for the Puppet Carver and Fourth Closet graphic novel, because I'm actually recording this before either of those two have come out, and yeah, so I don't have them at this moment in time. But if I do get them by the time I'm editing this video, I'll just show you right here. So yeah, like both of the Freddy Files books, like original and updated. Silver Rise and Twisted One's graphic novels. The original trilogy, Silver Rise, Twisted One's, Fourth Closet. Step Closer, 1:35 a.m., Fetch, Into the Pit, The Survival Logbook, Bunny Call, Blackbird, The Cliffs, and Gundrop Angel. By the way, fun fact, I reread He Told Me Everything in The Cliffs the other day. He Told Me Everything fucking sucks balls. I can't believe I used to like it. Or at least The Cliffs is still my favorite story, though. Anyway, I also have a Freddy bookmark right here. I think I got this at school book fair. I also have Funko Pop, so I have Twisted Bonnie, Baby with her opened faceplates, which is not even a thing in Sister Location or UCN. I think it's a thing in Help Wanted, but I'm not too sure. But yeah, and Twisted Foxy for the Funko Pops, and you just saw my finger there. Ew. I also have Mystery Minis. I have Nightmare Chica, RXQ, Foxy. Oh yeah, RXQ skipped over. Twisted Freddy, and matched him with the Twisted Ones. Magician Kid, Nightmare Freddy, and Happy Frog. Yeah. I also have the Nightmare Puffs as well, and a Freddy mask for Halloween. You can even barely see in it, just as a fair warning. I also have a FNaF water bottle. It actually does not work anymore. It leaks anytime you put stuff in it. I also have a FNaF McFarlane set of the Pirate's Cove. It's the only one I have, and it's kind of old. Like, as in, this is literally dust. It's literally dust. Also, ew, fingers. I also have a Sister Location calendar for 2018. Yeah, 2018. Like, behind here. Yep. A 16-month 2018 calendar. I also just have this phone case. This was for an old phone that I literally have a new phone now, and this does not fit at all. Anyways, we're gonna start getting into the most interesting stuff, in my opinion, the plushies and Funko figures. So, I guess I'll just start with the plushies since I have less of them. I have Roxanne, Helpy, Ennard. Even though Ennard's my favorite FNaF character, his plushie just fucking sucks. I also have Blacklight, Mr. Cupcake, or Carl, or whatever, and Bonnie and Bonnet. Okay, so editor Tyler here. In the comments below or in the live chat of this premiere, tell me or not if this is a Funko Bonnie plushie or a Sanchi Bonnie plushie, because if this is a Sanchi plushie, holy fucking shit. After so many years of having this Bonnie plushie, I had no idea. If this is a Funko plushie, well, I still like it. So, yeah, back to the video. I also have Freddy and Happy Frog. I also have Ballora and Funtime Freddy, which Funtime Freddy looks like he's still in my soul, and Ballora's... I also have Blacklight Freddy, Funtime Foxy. By the way, sister location, Funtime Foxy. Chocolate Bonnie. Okay, my Chocolate Bonnie plushie's like a little weird. I have no idea why. It just came like this when I ordered it. Then I have, I'm pretty sure, like, Funtime Foxy, but like fixed mangled Funtime Foxy. And then Nightmare Foxy, Normal Foxy, and then my least favorite plushie in the whole entire fucking FNaF Funko plush lineup thing, Chica. Now we carry on to my action figures. So, yeah, Funko figure, action figures, whatever. So, Nightmare Freddy plus Little Freddle, Nightmare Bonnie, Nightmare Foxy, Nightmare Chica. It looks like they're just holding hands. No. Then Funtime Foxy, but fixed mangled Funtime Foxy. Nightmare Orion, Montgomery Gator with his guitar, Roxanne Wolf, Glamrock Freddy, Glamrock Chica, and Vanny. Then we go over here. We have Rockstar Freddy, Scrap Baby, but missing an arm because you'll see in a second. Pig Patch, Rockstar Freddy, but glow-in-the-dark version. L-Chip with his banjo. And then Rockstar Foxy, but his blacklight version. See, I don't have the normal Funtime Foxy. And the reason for that is because, well, there simply isn't one online or just anywhere. Like, bruh. Then there's Funtime Freddy with Bonbon, Circus Baby, Ballora, Funtime Foxy, but sister location version, Lefty, Chocolate Chica, Chocolate Bonnie, and Chocolate Freddy. Lumix, add freaking Chocolate Freddy and Chica into the game, please. Ennard and Springtrap. My two favorite figures, to be honest, with like Funtime Freddy. Like these are actually good, unlike the Ennard plushie. Then we got Easter Bonnie, then Chica, Golden Freddy, Foxy, and then Freddy and Bonnie with the guitar.
Just listen to me well.
I also have these 3 small figures. I also had a Funtime Freddy one as well, but like, that's gone. I lost that one. And then I also have these 2 awful things like Springtrap and Mangle, whatever the frick this is. Can I use this hook to hang myself? I also have this Celebrate poster and the Security Breach poster. Yeah. I also just have this like inflated balloon that I had for like a birthday party. It's like there's even like a freaking, yeah. Then I just have this fan-made poster from like, because I've seen the original image before I even had this online, and well, there we go, and I blocked it with my Minecraft poster for some reason. And then I have this FNaF World mouse pad for my gaming PC, which on the surface it's pretty nice, but then you look at the bottom right corner and yeah, I don't know what happened. I'm pretty sure what happened was like whoever was printing this in the like trying to gather an image for this, they just accidentally just find a fan-made thumbnail or something on the internet. Like, oh my god. And then I saved this till last, which is a FNAF 2 mousepad, but with my username on it. I got this for Christmas 2018. The only people that I showed this to was everyone on my Discord server at the time. So yeah, nobody really knows I have this. Hey, it's pretty cool. Thanks, Santa. Whoever gave me this. Alrighty, so that is all of my FNAF merch.
But where's the Freddy body pillow?
Obviously, I placed these on my bed, so therefore, putting all these back is gonna take an extra 10 minutes or 20. Just like how I put them here. Woohoo! Well, in the meantime, on to the Q&A. So the first question of the Q&A comes from Hamlod, and they asked, when did you start playing Minecraft? Pretty much, I started playing Minecraft with the original shitty Pocket Edition version in like 2011 or 12 or so on my Kindle Fire, and it was a massive bruh back in the day. Then later on, I got Java Edition in 2012, and fun fact, that's where the name Tylerland264 originated. It was my original Minecraft Java name from 2012.
So next year in 2022, 10-year anniversary of the Tylerland264 name. And the second question they asked is nostalgic moments you look back at. Oh boy, probably watching all the YouTube videos from people like DanTDM, Stampy, Exploding TNT, and just etc. I would also play on servers like Mineplex and Hypixel, and also make my own survival world that would end up getting deleted randomly. Cool. And yeah, so much nostalgic memories, man. The next two questions come from Vanny, and he asked, is Ennard your favorite character? Maybe. And the second question they asked is, why do you like him? Pretty much, Ennard is my favorite FNaF character because of his really cool design, the lore he offers, the fact he has a whole Night and Sister location to himself that also brings FNaF 1 charm to a mostly original game. There's just so much I love about him. The next question comes from like 3 people, Fanny, Mr. Dr. Professor Jacobs, and Pat Lissy on Twitter. They asked, what inspired you to do YouTube? Pretty much, people like Markiplier or PewDiePie, you know, creators I watch. They gave me an idea to do what they were doing, and just see how it goes, and well, you guys know how it's going now. The next question comes from Scrap Helpy Films and Squidward. Ever gonna collab with someone? That's a good question, because technically I have, but on a much smaller scale with either smaller creators or IRL friends. If you mean someone with a higher channel size, like Freddy Pop Collector or Johnny Blocks or FNaF, then I don't know. I'll probably wait for someone to contact me first, and then plan accordingly to that, so technically the answer is maybe. The next question comes from like 5 fucking people, and those people being Scrap Helpy Films, Michael Manzi, Hornet is Void, Alessio Rossi Productions, and Sneezy Anus, and they all asked, what's the backstory of your OC, or at least something that's worded like that. So pretty much, basically, 12-year-old me in 2017 thought it would be funny to add sunglasses onto Ennard, and that's pretty much it. Nothing special behind it, just only that I find it kind of neat. I'm still using it to this day, and yeah. The next question comes from Scrap Helpy Films, and they asked, what's your favorite video? Oof. Probably either ranking FNaF VHS, despite the audio quality, ranking Friday Night Funkin' Weeks and Songs, Tiller's Depression, the 6-Nerve video, or just at least something in this little playlist right here. The next question comes from Scary Slasher, and they asked, least favorite animatronic from each game. Okay, so this will be a bit tricky. FNaF 1, Endo 1, FNaF 2, JJ, FNaF 3, Phantom BB I guess, FNaF 4, the Jackos I guess, however I do like the Jack, in the FNaF world, Ball Boy I guess, Sister Location, Electrobab, FNaF 6, Ned Bear, Ultimate Custom Night, Fredbear I guess, he's just, I don't fucking know. Help Wanted, Nightmare Endo, AR, a piece of shit, I mean, Sunken Toy Bonnie. And I don't think you're counting Freddy in Space 2, Fury's Rage, or Security Breach, so moving on. The next question comes from Ninten, and they asked, if Tyler Tales was to end, would you make a new animated series? See, the thing is that the Tyler Tales movie, the finale to Tyler Tales, is also going to be the last video on my channel when that comes out. However, if I decide to return to YouTube someday, I really have no idea. I would still keep it Tyler Tales related, but maybe perhaps a spin-off series that could focus on their young human lives before they became robots, like a prequel to Past of the Robots. Or if they do get set free at the end of the series, have it take place with their new lives in heaven. And then there's also if it's another season of Tyler Tales I decide to do, and we're going full out revival, or season 5, it'll definitely not be canon because the movie is where the original story ends. The thing is, I don't want to have seasonal rot happen like with other cartoons that go on for too long, where they run out of episode ideas, characters become unlikable, or go for out of character derailments as opposed to who they originally were, cruel to mean-spirited tones, overused jokes, and even episode concepts maybe, and just etc. And if I do go with the latter and continue Tyler Tales after the movie, if I make a return to YouTube, that's why I want to make the post-movie seasons non-canon. So if the episodes themselves become bad, they won't hurt the original 4 seasons with lore. Of course, I'd still want to try to make the seasons after the movie good, but there's still the risk, you know. The next few questions come from Koopa Guy. So, favorite Tyler Tales episodes and season. So for favorite Tyler Tales season, season 3, definitely. I personally think it's a massive improvement over 2 seasons of poor quality drawings, poor voice acting, and cheap jokes, and I feel like a lot more effort is put into this season. More heartwarming moments, more funnier moments, more unique episode concepts done right, better drawings, and just more world building. As for personal favorite episodes, probably either Tiller's Depression or Censorship Sucks. Some runners-up are VR Void, Birthday Surprise, Dark Corruption, and Pass of the Robots. But that's not out yet though, wink wink. The next question they asked is, ever considered remaking any other Season 1 episodes? The thing is that I actually somewhat have for a certain project. However, I'm not going to get into the detail here. And the other question they asked was, any info you're allowed to share on Pass the Robots? At this current moment in time, everything that I wanted to show to the public for Pass the Robots has been shown, and the only other announcements left is if it gets delayed like it did, or just when it's coming out in general. However, since this is a celebration for all of us, I'll provide one frame for you for this Q&A. There you go. The next question comes from Sin, and they asked, how are you? I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for asking. The next question comes from Scott Fakefawn, and they asked, opinions on Gacha Life? Ew. Okay, honest answer though. I don't really like it. See, I'm a massive believer in separating fandom and property. Hell, I'm a massive fan of FNaF and Minecraft, as you all know, so you can probably guess that. But for me at least, that rule ends when the fandom starts having legitimate negative involvement with the property, and that's how I feel with games like Gacha Life and Roblox to an extent. They're games that are driven by fan creations, and a lot of the time, fan creations end up ruining the experience for me and a lot of people. Of course, there can still be good content in Gacha Life and Roblox, but you really have to search for it. And in the search party, you have to come across stuff like incest and pro-self-harm messages and all that horrible and gross shit. My friend Alzo made a great video on this topic a month or 2 ago regarding FNaF Gacha Life content specifically, and the dangers of this really awful rabbit hole. I advise you check it out. The next question comes from Arta Blue, and they asked, have you seen Breaking Bad or Walking Dead? Breaking Bad, sadly no. But Walking Dead? Yeah, I have, and I like it. Pretty disturbing, but still good stuff. The next 2 questions come from Little Cream Curry, and they asked, do you like melons? Yes, I do. They're pretty delicious. If so, do you like melon girls? The next question comes from Dead Account, and they asked, what's your favorite Five Nights at Wario's game? Definitely Five Nights at Wario's 4. I haven't finished 5 shows at Wario's yet, but out of every game I have a majority of knowledge on, yeah, the 4th game. I love the presentation of the whole thing, like the fact it's an old TV network, the massive amount of horror in it, the unique gameplay mechanics in general, the mysterious lore, and the fact that the photoshopped images are used to their most potential here. It all combines in making a fantastic original end to a classic fan game quadrilogy. The next 2 questions come from Chaos, and the first one is, favorite FNaF animatronic? I have no idea. And the second question they asked is, Tyler Tales Wiki 1. The next question comes from Elliot Fan, and they asked, if you can meet one FNaF animatronic, who would it be? I mean, most of the FNaF animatronics would probably just kill me, so I'm kinda limited in my options, aren't I? I guess Enduo 2? He's the coolest looking character that can't canonically kill you in game, so him? The next question comes from FNaF AR Sucks, and they asked, general opinions on Illumix as a company. I'm gonna answer this briefly since I do not want to complain about Illumix too much now because of the fact they address the game has issues and that they'll be adding fan favorite characters and other gameplay changes to fix their game, quote unquote, which is something I mildly respect right now, but maybe that mild respect will turn into huge respect depending on how the update will go. So my opinions on Illumix before, and still somewhat currently, is just that they're extremely questionable at most, and just incredibly annoying at worst. And that's mostly due to the fact that their game has a lot of untouched potential they could explore with, and a lot of the time, they either just choose not to, or they just simply don't. In my FNaF AR critique video, I somewhat go into bigger and deeper details with this, so yeah. And the next question comes from FNaF AR Sucks and Buttercup, and they asked, favorite Fazbear Fright story. My favorite Fazbear Fright story usually shifts. In the brief amount of time when Into the Pit was the only book, it was To Be Beautiful. Then for a little while, it was Lonely Freddy, and then it was The Cliffs, but now, it's actually out of stock. I love Out of Stock because of the incredible writing, the fact they expanded on Plush Trap by making a Plush Trap Chaser variation, the great action, the satisfying ending, the often horror enticing bits, and it just comes out of the artistic oven as a wonderfully done story. I'm gonna get into more detail if this is still my favorite story by the time I make my Fazbear Fright Stories ranked video, so yeah. And this question is a good transition to the next one by I Drew, which they asked, what are your thoughts on Fazgoo? Fuck Fazgoo. Screw it. I know I said in my Cliffs review that it was a decent to good concept because of an observation I made where the authors are trying to experiment with different concepts to make the books more interesting. But now, hell no. See, I loved and still love In the Flesh because of how shocking it was, since this was the first time any weird-based stories were written. But at this point, the Fazgoo proves that these rather fetish stories are getting extremely overdone. Hell, back in that review, The Cliffs was still my favorite story. I still really like The Cliffs, but it's no longer my favorite, and the other stories are just extremely iffy. Even I think The Breaking Wheel's in that same vein, and that's one of the only stories that people in the community who see Fazbear Fright's decline in quality like myself actually like and consider an exception. I don't know, man. This is not my cup of tea. I hope I can get into more detail someday, like in the Fazbear Fright story ranked video. The next question comes from Gabe the Player, and they asked, if you were in a game and you have to eliminate one of your fans or your friends, who would it be? I mean, I don't really know. I don't really target anybody specifically unless they target me, so yes. The next questions come from the man. The first one being, favorite FNaF game out of them all? FNaF VR Help Wanted. I love it for pretty much every aspect. The gameplay is amazing, the graphics are epic, the story, while messing up FNAF's lore just a little bit, is still really good. Cursed Dreadbear is my favorite piece of FNAF media out there, and it's just a work of art, and that is why I have high hopes for Security Breach. The next question from him is, any favorite YouTubers you have? I don't have a specific number one favorite, but I can give a little list. Markiplier, PewDiePie, The Odd Ones Out, Mr. Nightmare, SML from 2007 to 2015. Rest in peace, by the way. I Hate Everything, Quackity, Ella Smart, just a whole bunch of people. And the other question the man asked was, favorite game series besides FNaF? Does Minecraft count? Not really a series, but there's story mode, dungeons, and etc., so Minecraft? The next few questions come from Jean Rosie 07. The first being, what's the most overrated and underrated Tyler Tales episode? That's actually a good question because that's something I don't really think about that often. For overrated, can I just say the entirety of season 1? No? Okay. But I guess the most overrated episode, in my opinion, is the original Criminal, because it's the first episode, so it's the worst of what I can do. It's too short, Tyler's out of character, the drawings are kinda iffy in comparison to nowadays, and just bleh. The remake's better. And for most underrated, Tiller gets lost, to be honest, because I still like what I did with it, and made it Tiller's swan song, and made it an emotional ride. It's probably one of the only good Season 1 episodes, in my opinion, that still hold up to this day. The next question they asked is, what's your favorite top 5 FNAF video of yours? So, I would honestly say the top 5 best things Scott has ever done video, because unlike my other top 5 videos, this is personally more hard-hitting and has a bigger message. As well, the editing is actually competent and well done for once, and I actually still stand by these opinions, which is something I can't say for a lot of my older top 5 videos. So, yeah, that one. And the other question they asked is, which is more nostalgic, Minecraft or FNAF? Oof, this one, right here. This is the tough question. And the worst part is, I don't think I can say both and move on. I have to actually pick one. So both Minecraft and FNAF are extremely nostalgic to me, with a lot of old YouTube videos, whether they were gameplays or songs, actually playing the games themselves, and making friends, and just all of that. I legitimately actually had to think about this one hard for 20 minutes. I really did. Because they were both literally tied, or at least almost are. But if I really had to pick one, I would honestly say Minecraft. FNaF comes in at a close second, I promise. But yeah. The next question comes from Ham, and they asked, has there ever been a top 5 video that did not age well, your opinions changed, etc.? Well, let's say that yes, but multiple videos, and not necessarily because only opinions changed. That's still a reason, but not the only. See, the thing was that the two videos that have aged poorly are the worst fan games video and the worst FNaF songs video. The worst songs video is not that bad in comparison to the worst fan games. Hell, that's why I'm remaking the worst FNaF songs first, if I'm gonna remake worst fan games too. But pretty much for worst FNaF songs, the only reason it's poorly aged is because opinions have changed, especially number 5. And I wish I gave constructive criticism instead of insulting the songs and the music artists involved, and actually focused on the song. But otherwise, that's really it. The editing is pretty good, to be honest, besides some jinkiness at the beginning. However, the worst fan games video is an absolute fucking train wreck of a video. Firstly, the editing is just garbage. I can do much better nowadays. And also, watermark. Secondly, how do I put this? How do I put this without getting canceled? Seriously. How do I fuck up this bad?
Another thing I can respect is the later improvement because little known fact. This fan game was mostly made by Blackout/Nitchy, the same person who made Dormitibus back in 2018, which in my opinion is one of the best FNaF fan games of all time.
I literally praised a pedophile for improving their games over time. And this is what I called improvement over time, right here. Now, I still love Dormitibus, just not that raping a young girl part anymore, but for the gameplay and etc., I tend to separate art and artist, creator and creation, and I do it with Dormitibus and Nitchy. Good game, developers in Nude-Ass Computo, and that's my main gripe with the fan games video. I basically kinda gave support to this man and practically just gave him a reason to possibly come back someday. So, this video doesn't only just suck, this video is actually dangerous for letting potential FNaF predators back into the community, and I am extremely sorry about that. And also, thirdly, the other reason I don't like this video anymore is because of the ending message to Trevi. Fuck those two videos, but especially the worst fan games video. The next 3 questions are from Ratsy the Rat. The first being, what's your sub goal on YouTube? Well, we kinda reached it, but if I were to make a new one right now, 20,000 I guess? The second being, do you celebrate Funky Monkey Friday? No, I do not, sadly. I should be ashamed. And, do you like monkey? Yes! Woo, woo, woo! The next few questions come from Spongy. Oh boy. The first one is, why the 264 at the end? Okay, that's actually confidential. Sorry, mate. The second question being, what video do you regret making the most? Either the FNaF 3M video or this piece of garbage. Your hidden bias. I don't really have a hidden bias. I've been pretty open with my bias, I guess. What? Tell one thing you like about a fan game you generally despise. I really do like the art style of 5 Nights in Anime, but what has been drawn is a no-no. Again, the art style is good, but what was made of it is not good. And the final question he asked, Iron Man ranking. I can't answer that one sadly because I don't really watch the Iron Man movies. I know. The next 2 questions come from 2015 Sans. First being, any favorite shows growing up? Favorite shows growing up? Well, basically, I grew up with SpongeBob, Thomas the Tank Engine. Those were the 2 main ones. I watched a bunch of stuff when I was younger. And the second question is also favorite shows now. So pretty much, I still love SpongeBob, I'll say. On top of that, I also love South Park, The Simpsons, Family Guy, Aqua Teen Hunger Force, Rick and Morty, BoJack Horseman, Gumball, Phineas and Ferb. As you can tell, I'm an animation guy. I got no life, lol. The next 2 questions come from Buttercup, and he asked, did you ever get hate on YouTube? Oh yeah, definitely. However, I don't pay much attention to it often because pretty much the concept of hating to you publicly can only happen if they waste their time, which is what they do. And in that case, I just laugh at it because they're wasting their time. Now, if it's constructive criticism, that's okay because they're actually trying to help you improve your stuff. But if it's just borderline, you suck, with no help or advice attached, then it just becomes hilarious for you and sad for them because, again, they use the human energy they have to hate on a 16-year-old teenager that lives on the other side of the country or world just because they have nearly OCD levels of annoyance over your harmless content instead of like going outside or going on dates or just living life. And it's just funny as shit. Like it comes down to, thank you for spending your time with me. Like really, it does. And the other question they asked is, what's your favorite Minecraft update? That's a good question. Probably the Nether update or the Aquatic update. But I don't have a definitive favorite since I don't really think about it that much. I just know that the Caves and Cliffs update has been disappointing for people so far, and that's really it. The next question comes from Buttercup and Nightmare Enderman. They both asked, when did you start getting into FNaF? So, I pretty much got into FNaF by watching Markiplier's video on FNaF 1 back in August 2014, and I decided, hey, this looks cool, I'm gonna play. So then I got FNaF 1 on my Kindle whenever that came out, and I played it and I closed both of the goddamn doors and drained all of my power and kept dying to Freddy, like no cap. That was how I played FNaF 1 for a little while until I got help from my brother, and I beat Night 1. And then eventually, I beat 420 mode, and then I finally got FNaF 2 on my Kindle when that came out. So for a little while, I was a FNaF mobile player only. Whew. But still really nostalgic times. The next question comes from Philip Napoli, and they asked, if you were to wield an actual gun, what would be your personal pick? What? I guess an AK-47, but why would I have a gun? The next question comes from Hornet is Void. Are you considering YouTube as a full-time career? No, I do not anticipate that. The Tyler Tales movie is going to be the final video on my channel, and then I'll most likely move on with my life and higher things. There's only a small chance I may come back after a few years, but I don't know. We'll just have to see. The next few questions come from Nightmare Enderman. What was the first FNaF fan game you ever played for the second question? Finding to Candy's 1. I remember for a long time, I thought fan games you had to pay for, like the Fazbear Fanverse Initiative was like around in 2015 and 2016 or some shit. And then I decided to look up Find It to Candy's download on Google one day and saw the Game Jolt link and I was like, wait, what? And then I downloaded it and it actually worked and I actually played it and I was shocked. And then I realized I could play fan games. This was an epic realization moment, so yeah, good times. And for his final question, Social Strike Rebellion when? Yesterday. The next question comes from Abed, and he asked, what's your least favorite SpongeBob season? Season 7. I just don't know what the staff behind the show are thinking with some of the episodes in the season. Like, a lot of them are just flat out awful. I'm glad SpongeBob got better after that period, starting with the second half of season 9. The next question comes from Vanny, and they ask, did you ever think of quitting YouTube? Yeah, twice. First time, I didn't say that I was thinking about doing it, which was back in November 2019. It was mostly motivation reasons. And then the other time was this year, January 2021. With that stream, if anyone remembers, it became an almost break instead, and I came back anyway. And it was because I thought I was tired of FNaF, which I'm not, don't worry, and just other stuff. But yeah, nothing else to that really. The next question comes from 3 people. Hornet is Void, Tom, and Halo from Twitter. Hey pal. What's your favorite FNaF fan game? The Joy of Creation story mode. I love the graphics, the gameplay, the story. It's all really good. Except for the ending. The ending can go die in a ditch. But everything else is superb in my opinion. So the fact my boy Halo asked this question on Twitter is a good segue into the Twitter questions. So yep, we're done with the YouTube questions. No Instagram questions weirdly, but yeah, twitter.com time. The next question comes from Dapper, and he asked, what is one thing you would have done differently on your journey to 10K? One thing I would have done differently is wait a bit until I was 13 or 14 to start making videos, because I feel like a lot of my old videos hurt my channel's image, and it just shows how inexperienced I was. But some would say that's an important part of a hero's journey, so I don't really know, to be honest. The next question comes from Swag, and he asked, if you were to uncancel Five Nights at Tyler's, are there any changes you would bring? Firstly, I would change the awful grammar in the title of the game. Makes no sense grammatically. Secondly, I would add Tiller into the main cast, because he originally wasn't in the main cast at the time. In 2017, Tiller was only a mascot for my new second channel I made. So I would add Tiller into the main cast, and I would add some significant changes to make it more sense in the lore, because Five Nights with Tyler is canon to Tyler Tales. It takes place after the 1983 scenes in Past of the Robots, so yeah, that's really it though. And for the final two questions of the Q&A, they come from AJ3108, the first being, how old are you? I know I said no personal questions, but since I have already said this before, and it's public information already, I'm 16. And the second question they asked, what's your favorite game? I don't have a number one favorite in my mind, but some of my favorites include FNaF AR Help Wanted, Minecraft, Friday Night Funkin', Among Us, Plants vs. Zombies 1, fuck you EA, Terraria, and yeah, plenty more examples. And that's it. That was part 2 to the 10k sub special. Before I conclude this video, I just want to thank you all so much for the 10,000 subscribers. It truly means a lot to me, and well, when I started making content, I had no idea I was going to grow this much. I thought my 1,000 subscriber milestone would be my only milestone I would ever achieve, but looks like I was dead wrong. You guys are amazing, and I love you all so much. Platonically. And your comments, support, the videos about me, or moments from my channel, just everything really lights my day. Even the occasional haters lighten up my day because they bothered to spend time of their day on me and help boost my channel engagements with their dislikes and hate comments. No matter who you are, you're special to me, and I really appreciate a lot of the efforts you guys go to support me. And it just makes me happy to know that any video I produce, no matter how good or how bad I think it is, I'll get support from at least one of y'all. And I'm also glad that my improvement in content over the years was proven worthwhile too. Like, there's clearly an improvement there, and I could never be so thankful about you guys sticking around. When I wake up in the morning and I get a YouTube Studio notification, that brings a good start to my day and puts a smile on my face. It makes me feel like I wake up on the right side of the bed. Whether or not I deserve 10,000 subscribers, the point is that I'm happy and proud of it. And if you're feeling happy about it too, that's also a good thing. We did it together, guys. The reason why in a lot of these videos or specials and whatnot, I use the term we instead of I, that's because, well, we do this together. We're a team. And as a team, we did it. Well, next up will be the third and final part to the 10k sub special, which is Tyler Tales Your Big Adventure. As of me writing this script, I don't know if it'll get done in time for me to release it tomorrow of when I'm releasing this video, but I'll provide an update right here.
There's no way in hell it's releasing tomorrow. However, it will get done pretty soon. I'm promising that. I will promise that.
I hope you guys enjoyed this FNaF merch collection showcase and the Q&A, and well, I'll see y'all in the next thing I do. Goodbye, everybody.